Do you want to develop instinct and dribble without thought like Ronaldinho? If so, then pay attention for this next few minutes and you can improve your instincts as a footballer. So much of modern football training revolves around cone drills, dribbling in mandated sequences, and doing things exactly how a coach says. But if you want to develop instinct and play with those instincts, then you need to dribble without limitations and find ways to be creative without thinking about it. Have you ever gotten in a game and went up against a defender 1v1 and had no idea what to do? That's because you don't have the instincts developed and you haven't put in the right training to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. Because when we get in an actual game, a defender is not a cone. A defender at a high level is going to be smart, athletic, and physical, and they're going to battle you. It's not going to be easy to beat them like it is with a cone. Some of the best footballers in the history of the sport go out there and they don't have to think about what they do. It's all instinct. Things just happen on the dribble or with shooting or putting in tackles. So you need to develop those instincts, and here's how. Number one, if you aren't doing this already, you need to play small-sided games. If you look at some of the best players in history, some of the best dribblers that we've ever seen in football, Ronaldinho and Neymar, and you look at a lot of the English players that are really good at dribbling, it's because they played on small pitches, they played on courts, they played in the streets where the ball moves quickly and there's not much space to operate. So you have to be creative. If you only play on an 11v11 pitch and you have 20 or 30 yards of space every time you touch the ball, then you are naturally not going to be prepared for those situations where somebody's right in your face. In small-sided games, those situations don't allow you to have all the time in the world. If you're in a 5v5 on a small pitch or on a court or in the street, you're not going to be able to think through everything you do. You're going to have to react, and naturally you're going to make mistakes, which is a good thing. Don't allow people to say that mistakes are a bad thing. Make those mistakes and you'll develop instincts because naturally you're not going to want to do it again. So once you make that mistake, your brain will start automatically thinking, okay, how do I make that not happen again? I don't want to embarrass myself like that again. So playing in these situations is going to allow you to develop those instincts and play without thinking. Number two, don't overthink everything that you do. And this sounds obvious, but so many players go into situations and they're constantly thinking, oh, I have 7 options. Which one am I going to choose? What am I going to do in this moment? If you're overthinking things, you're taking too much time to play. And if you take too much time to play at a high level, you're simply not going to find success. So how do you cut out the overthinking? Well, it's really simple and it requires repetition in training. And that doesn't mean just going to training every day. That means the right repetition, finding the right touches, the right situations to improve. Putting yourself in situations in training where you're under pressure is going to allow you to improve decision making. So you need to think through in those moments, is this a moment where I need to be creative and create an opportunity? Or is this a moment where I need to retain possession of the ball? Too often I see players going for the creative 9 times out of 10 or going for retaining the ball 9 times out of 10. It needs to be a mixture and you need to be able to read the game to understand what is going to be successful. If you see your teammate is in space or is in a 1v1 situation, maybe that's the time to take a risk and to try to play them in. But if you're under high pressure, you probably don't need to be creative in that moment. It's about getting out of that pressure and finding a teammate that's under less pressure. So repetitive actions and getting your head up is so important. A lot of players look straight down at the ball and the opponent's feet when they're trying to play. They have their head stuck down and they have no idea what's going up on the pitch. So instead of looking down and trying to avoid feet, you need to lift your head and scan. What's to the left? What's to the right? What do I have around me and what can support me in these moments? And that'll allow you to improve decision making. And lastly, to play with instinct, you need to be confident. You need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you are going to overthink things. You're going to try to think through, oh, what are my teammates going to say? What is my coach going to say? What is that defender going to say to me if they win the ball from me? So believing in yourself and having confidence is going to lead to you having more success and just playing off of your instincts. You can look at a player and in just a few seconds tell if they're confident or if they're not. Even some of the most talented players, if they don't don't have confidence can't play at the highest level because they don't believe in themselves and they crumble under pressure. But if you look at a player like we mentioned earlier, Ronaldinho, he is one of the most confident players out there. He knows that he can beat anyone at any given time. Even if he loses the ball or he misses a really good opportunity or he misplaces a simple pass, you don't see his confidence levels go down. He becomes even more confident, it seems, because he knows, okay, I made a mistake, my next one is bound to work then. So real confidence isn't about never making mistakes. It's about making those mistakes, but knowing that you can improve and you can do better the next time that ball comes to you. So this is a mentality, and even if you're not the best player in the world, you can be confident in your abilities and think, okay, one more chance, one more opportunity, and I'm going to make it work. And when you are more confident, you are so much more likely to succeed. So cut out those fears, find your confidence, and get to work. Now, since you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe because I post weekly content that helps you become a better footballer. And while you're here, let me know which of these areas you need to improve in the most. Catch you in the next video.